Disruption, innovation, these are things that we like to talk a lot about, but disruption is one in particular that I enjoy talking about because a lot of organizations are trying to figure out ways that they can avoid disruption. But the real question is, how do you become more disruptive? I mean, if you're really thinking about influence in the future, your focus can't be on avoiding disruption, it needs to be on how do you become more disruptive to the status quo. And the first place that you start is with yourself. I know this sounds strange, but disrupting yourself is incredibly advantageous because you ensure that somebody else isn't going to do it first, but you also start to realize where your weaknesses are. You also start to realize where your real opportunities are. And that's why disrupting yourself is so incredibly important. And I know people that have done this. I know people that are working to find ways to automate their job, not just so they can do something different, but they realize that if they have a task that can be programmed, then they should be able to outsource that because they know if they don't do it, somebody else is. And this is what allows you to stay ahead of that curve. But more important than that, it also gives you insight into where new obstacles may arise, and not just for you, but new obstacles that may arise for the people that you serve, which is the most important thing. So when you think about disruption, try not to think about it as something to avoid, but instead of something to participate in, something to do. Technology. We have more technology today that can allow us to do this, so it's not just a fairy tale, right? This isn't just, well, that sounds really great. Next we're going to talk about innovation, and we don't really know what we're talking about, but okay. Okay. Because here's the reality. We have the technology at our fingertips today to start disrupting ourselves. It's there. We don't have to wait for somebody to create it. We can create it ourselves if we want to. On top of that, people's needs continue to change. You see, when the environment continues to change so much, people's needs change, and the reality is that when those needs change, they often change and they put the people who are being affected by that in a position of defense. They are having to react to that change. They're not sure exactly where it came from or what they're going to do next. That's where the opportunity is. You see, if your value, your business model, whatever it is that you do is predicated on the impact that it makes on the people you serve, which is any good business or any good community, well, if they get disrupted and you still think that your business, your services, your products are going to be as valuable in this situation as they will be in a situation where they're not doing so well, well, that's where the opportunity for you to be disrupted by somebody else comes into full swing. So this is another reason why you have to approach disruption as something to do as opposed to something to avoid. Because when you look at it that way, you're also thinking about what's most important, and that's the people that you serve. And if you're thinking about the people that you serve, you're asking the questions of how they fare in certain future scenarios, certain future possibilities. And when you can do that, you can start preparing them to be more proactive about the kind of future that they want to have. And when they look to you as the person who helped guide them into that, well, that in and of itself is a game changer. Not only does it benefit them, it allows you to be leading in the industry, but it also ensures that what you do stays 10 steps ahead of this other disruption or other interference that may make or may put you on the defensive.